Hello there. Oh, right. I suppose now I should call you Your Majesty. You know, I was just telling Papa, even through all that mess, everyone's really been working hard.
Am I keeping my promise?
Am I keeping my promise properly from back then?
Yes, you beat the villain, and now the city's full of smiles. And I'm sure Papa's smiling down on you too.
That's good. Hearing that from you really lifts my heart.
It's a joy to see kids like her smile. The future changes slowly, and the burden of its momentum will fall on their shoulders one day.
Don't worry. I'll try to do my part with what I've got. I want to help everyone understand that the world could be a better place if we can join hands with one another. Miss Fabian's fed so many hungry people since things changed. Some of those people even said they found their place there. I think I did too. If we can all change together for the better like that, we'll be closer to Your Majesty's and Papa's dream.
A place where I ought to be, a side of myself I ought to show. The path is never clear.
And I want to help with something too. I want everyone across the land to be able to smile.
Counting on you.
Yeah, I'm counting on you. Let's do this together.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Majesty. Oh. Thank you, Your Majesty.
We should be the ones thanking her. Feels like I can see the entire country's future in her smile.
Everyone!
Long time no see. How have you been?
As we find ourselves afield, I thought I might visit Alsace myself.
Hold on a tick. Those people there? Surely not.
Naturally, we're drawing attention. We didn't all have to go at once.
Needn't fuss a thing. It's been too long since we were all together again anyway.
Lady Tuna, did she really come all this way in a runner? Could have asked His Majesty to pop over and bring you back with a teleport or two.
The unmitigated nerve.
Oh, it's fine. I wanted to take in our country as it is. It's definitely a little rougher outside the capital's walls. There's still traces of melancholia around, and the odd human roaming about.
We're sending soldiers out for every incident we can. But it's not easy to hear the voice of the people from more distant regions.
I guess it's obvious. But just because you're king now doesn't make you suddenly all-seeing.
A lesson I learned last year. In the end, I was blind to a great deal of this world. Never would have learned if I hadn't pushed out the door and seen it with my own eyes.
He's right. The capital can be a bit of a bubble. There will always be more to do and learn beyond its walls.
A year ago, I would have just said we could fly over ourselves. I mean, let's be real. The capital isn't going to fall apart if we just sneak over for a little tour, is it?
Road trip?
We specifically put precautions in place to keep things running.
Yet it has only been 1 year. We cannot be too complacent too soon, lest the dissidents seize on the opportunity.
Oh, there he is! Over there! See? I told you, that's His Majesty, innit?
Might have been a bit too obvious.
Oi there, Your Majesty!
You dare hoy the king? You swine!
Steady on, Hockenberg, calm. You needn't draw steel on the poor fellow. We're the ones who indulged in this little day trip.
Your Majesty, thanks for all you do, really. Have to say, my life's a lot easier now.
There's more work to do every day, but we're in this together. We believe in you.
Everyone's so supportive. Kind of brings back memories from last year.
Rather. It's the sort of thing to get a chap all misty-eyed over the past. What a journey it was.
We really did just leg it up and down the country slaying dragons, eh? Can't believe we actually survived it.
They were dangerous times, but exciting ones too.
When we fought to appease the dragon god, I had no idea we would have to face another 4 dragons.
That was optional, though, wasn't it?
Nor I. Never thought the day would come when I'd be hailed as a dragon slayer. Huh. Life is full of surprises.
Right.
I resolved to believe in my ideals, no matter what may come, even back then. Even if the world is slow to change, a king's beliefs can never waver.
It was a hard road, but we did have fun together, didn't we?
Looks like we're drawing a crowd. Time to get back to work.
Indeed. A veritable mountain of tasks awaits us, and I will see it crested.
Now are you going to roll the credits? Or is there still more?
And not long after, the new year dawned.
Excuse me? How much more do I have to go? I feel like we fought Louise like 2 hours ago.
Journey? Are you really planning on leaving us?
There's more I have to see?
There's more I have to see. With my own eyes.
You want to know what's going on in the world, huh? Well, I guess you are the king.
Sounds like fun, but a daily jaunt down to the slums is one thing, and a proper journey is quite another. You're a king now, lad. You've got the people's expectations on your shoulders. It's all right to just sit on your throne and mind the home front, you know?
That's boring, though. I just want to do what I can.
I want to do what I can for the people. If that's not kingly, then the crown's just slowing me down.
Come on, this is no time for jokes.
Never the fearless gadabout, eh? Well, I take your point, lad.
The fearless what?
Magla and the humans make a fine barometer for the anxiety still swirling in the country. So you go out and give it a proper survey, where it is and how much is there. If people can't face their anxieties, they can't keep their eyes forward. And if they can't do that, we'll have a bally hard time moving forward as a nation or a people. Do you want to get a better grasp of it all? That's your most important duty as a ruler. That's what you're thinking, eh?
Right.
Even the most faraway future begins with the belief that it can be realized, so I'll press onward. That's the best I can do.
If that was your plan, you could have just said so.
Sounds like a fine idea to me. A proper spot of fun, besides. Wouldn't expect any less from our king and captain. Well, since I'm the ballet court engineer, I've no choice but to come along. I'm the only driver fit to maneuver the Royal Skyrunner after all. And why, you're the Dragon Slayer King, bane of monsters all across the country. When I imagine what sort of wondrous encounters you've got next, well, I'm all agog. Yes, here begins our quest anew. Let us sally forth upon our... hello? Are you not listening to me?
Sire, you've really got to stop chasing these ideas all on your own. It'll be the death of us.
Once again, sire, I've asked you countless times to give word if you're to leave the castle. Such caprice.
Nurse, don't tell me you called for them beforehand.
Saved us a bit of time, eh? Though, hello, what's this? I count only 2 of the 6 partisans. Short a few spears.
For my part, I believe 'tis unrealistic for all of us to depart the capital together.
Oh, so you have no plans to stop our little adventure, eh?
I think Hulkenberg has
Hulkenberg
given
and
up
I
trying to
talked it
stop
over.
us.
We decided that if you insist on going, we'd rather go with you than stop you.
Are you sure?
Are you sure about this?
I was thinking back to our last fight with Luis. So many people supported us, but not for any high-minded ideals or arguments.
They were supporting us because we were actively fighting a monster on their behalf. In the end, people make choices based on their personal experience and emotion. Even if decided justly and supported by prosperity, people may struggle to trust a king whose face they do not know. An invisible ruler is no cure for their fears.
Right. I'm not opposed to the idea of getting out into the world again. Really, it might be the wisest move to make sure you're a king everyone knows.
My friends and allies believe as I do. Their support is the greatest treasure I could have.
Still, this early into the new year, 'tis never a dull moment in your Majesty's employ.
Bit of a smaller party than we last set out with, huh? But it's a pleasure to be on the road again with you.
Okay, but can we really afford to have both our general and the Royal Guard's captain coming along for this?
'Tis natural course for the Royal Guard to accompany the king. And I trust my corps is not so feeble that it will fall apart in my absence.
We'll make it work. Got to learn to trust others and delegate, right? And we'll just have to lead by example.
Then let's go.
Right then. Let's go.
You once heard my voice and answered a query in kind.
Sure I did.
Is fantasy a powerless creation? That timeless question. So long as life remains in the world, we seekers all shall search for our answer. But he will find his. Of that I am certain. And it is thanks to you for believing in and guiding him. That was the true purpose of my royal magic, you know. To seek and obtain guidance from denizens of a land beyond ours. A land that has not yet lost hope. And it was you who answered the call. Armed with your hope, armed with the power of fantasy, you rose in glory. Such courage, such whimsy, and yes, what thrills. You have my sincerest thanks.
That's cute, acknowledging the player.
Feels familiar. It's been far too long.
Aye, the wind feels an echo of days past.
Unusually poetic for you.
They're awful, aren't they? They would have left us behind. Oh.
Well, I'm not certain we're in a position to talk, having followed straight after, saying we could just teleport back.
Well, hey, we figured the kids might want to change your scenery, like.
Oh, we're bringing Maria.
Amazing!
Poetic indeed. That the scepter's absence restored order to Magla, and even greenery to the sands.
I'll say, I definitely like this view better.
Yeah, no more sand
Let's go.
waves. Credits. All right, finally. Oh my gosh, we have been in this end sequence for so very long. But it's fine. We're here now. It's over. Ending thoughts of the game. I really liked it. I'm interested to see if there will be more in the series, like if they turn it into a series, like how Persona is a series or SMT is a series. I would hope they would make it into a series, but we just, you know, probably won't get another one for a very long time. But, yeah, I feel like there's a lot they could do with metaphor in general. And of course, if they revamp the game, like how there's Persona 5 Royal or Persona 4 Golden, I will definitely play that, but that will come when it comes, if it comes. Overall, I liked all of the party members, which is shocking. Normally there's at least one character on the team that I'm like, I hate you, I will never use you, you suck. But no, I enjoyed all of the characters. I thought they were all pretty strong. Stroll pissed me off, obviously, that one time when he turned on the protagonist briefly when turned into a human. But that's just because I thought Stroll would be smarter than that. Is what it is. It was like a small character flaw that didn't make sense to me on his part. But no, really strong showing. That said, I don't know that I like loved any of the characters, like particularly like in Persona 5, for example. I love Akechi. I love Fox. I love so many of them. Ryuji, great. But at the same time, this team felt more balanced, if that makes sense. They were like good across the board. No low points. I think my favorite characters of the team would be Basilio and Yufa. Love them. But yeah. Overall, really, really fun game. There's a chance I'll platinum this on my own time. Not anytime soon, because I assume that requires me to New Game Plus it. And that's quite the undertaking. Yeah. I don't know that I really have any other complaints about the game. I originally wasn't sure I would like press turns because I'm not crazy about how they work in SMT, but I wound up really enjoying them the further into the game we got. Obviously, missing still sucks. It'll never not suck. I'm fine with, like, if my attack is repelled, losing my whole turn, but the miss taking 2 turner icons is a lot. I've already missed. Just let me lose the one. But it is what it is. It wasn't, like, debilitating, I would say. I don't think it ever cost us a fight. I think it was close a couple of times, especially in that final fight with Louise, and I think it was an issue early on in the Elegy of the Soul fight, but whatever. We got there. That's what matters. I have no idea where I could possibly be missing those 8 golden beetles. That's gonna really haunt me. But I'm not gonna go back and rewatch through my whole playthrough to be like, oh, this is where I got the golden beetles, and compare it to a list of where the others are. I'll just replay the game eventually and find them all. It's fine. Everything is fine. Yeah. I don't know what else I would have to say. I don't know where I would place this game amongst, like, my favorite games of all time. I'm gonna have to, like, sit and think on that. But it was a good game. I don't think I'd be able to, like, rate it out of 10 or anything. It was good. It was a good game. Good enough that I will play whatever else comes down the line in the series or spin-offs or whatever. Really enjoyed the music as well. It was not what I expected going in. I was very curious what they would do because the music in the Persona series is always so, like, amazing. But I think they did a good job making it stand out from their other series. And I loved this fantasy world they created. All of the races were really intricately created, and I loved how distinct they were from one another. I'm upset we never got to see Alonso's true form. Whatever game. They even taunted us with it at the end. Rude. Very rude. I'm sure there's fan art of that online somewhere. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about the game at large. Yeah. Oh, I guess I didn't like that with the Elegy of the Soul, they did not explain that you could not have a piece of gear that repelled attacks equipped. I had to Google that. I really quite dislike when I feel forced to Google something. Like, you should have had a hint of some kind that that was a thing that needed to happen. There was no way of knowing. Like, going into one of the dragon fights, you could easily work out, like, oh, okay, this thing repels everything. I need to use, like, dancing to make any headway, or use attacks that it doesn't matter if the enemy can repel because they penetrate or whatever, like Emerald Vortex or whatever it's called. But with the Elegy of the Soul, I don't feel like they explained that at all. If I missed it, that's on me. I don't think I did, though. Yeah. Although I'm not sure if I ever went and bought information from the broker, but yeah, I don't think that was explained at all. But I think that was my main issue. That was it. Everything else, you had plenty of opportunity to learn about a boss's weaknesses in advance, or so on and so forth. So, really just that. I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel for anything I could say at this point. But these credits are still going. I'm sorry. All right, well, as for what games are coming next, I don't know. I'm indecisive. I'll like have a game in mind on what I'm going to play next, and then that'll change the day of, and I will wind up picking a completely different game. So I don't want to say a game now and then have it change. But yeah, the games I pick to play, usually completely random. Oh my god. Okay, special thanks. Are we near the end? But on another note, if you've made it to the end, thank you so much for watching the playthrough. It's been a very long one. Yeah. Very long. That's fine. I like my JRPGs to be lengthy. Makes me feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of them. And it just feels like the world has more time to develop. Oh my god, I think that's the end. Is there an end credit scene, or is this like it? That's from that book.
Dear guest, from a world I shall never know. In your eyes, I know our journey was ultimately a fiction. However, I hope your memories of this fantastical adventure burn as bright in your reality. I hope the promise of our world echoes in you. With all my heart, I hope that fantasy gives you strength.
There is an end credit scene. Oh, that's the Caradrius or whatever it was called.
Look at that. The rubble's just bait for tourists now.
I never expected a view like this.
Let's see it all. Let's see the world.
Yeah.
A new journey now beckons. In days of Eld, the people prospered and perished in turn. Struck by their ways, I wrote a book of my dearest ideas. A tale of fantasy. In my vision, they placed their trust, and so the kingdom breathed new life.
The strength to believe in the unknown. That can change everything.
I love Basilio.
Without a doubt, you will face all sorts of trials ahead. But carry onward with all your heart. Onward, fearless, into a world unknown.
Fantasy lives on. Coronation of the King. By saving your clear data, certain things can transfer over as is to a new game. You can transfer currently owned items, with some exceptions: money, mag, royal virtues, scanned enemies, memorandum, archetype statuses, and total playtime. Save clear data, yes, thank you. I will save it to a new slot, though. Or just in case. All right. Well, that's it. Fantasy lives on, or whatever. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next game. Bye.